Welcome back to the West Coast Conference basketball tip-off day. I'm now joined by Santa Clara head coach Jennifer Mountain and Ricky Radonovich. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks
Are
to
you
be here.
ready to get this season underway?
I actually can't wait for it to get started. I know our team is ready to play somebody else.
Excellent. Tell me a little bit about your team this year. What are they going to look like?
Well, I think that people are really going to enjoy a fast-paced tempo. We have a lot of new faces. We have 5 incoming freshmen that have joined us. And I think they've been a great complement to our returners. We have a lot of depth. And so I think, with the style of play that we're trying to put into play and just some individual improvements over the spring and summer, I think we're much improved and going to be exciting to watch.
And there are 5 freshmen on the team this year. How does that dynamic play out and change the way your team looks from last year?
Well, you always hope that you recruit a fit for a student athlete, and I think these 5 have come in and really complemented, like I said, our returners. Chemistry-wise, I think they've just gelled right away. Having them in summer school, I think, always helps. So they've had a quick touch of what school's like, what basketball's like, being able to start with them in the summer. They've fit in well, and it's almost like we just kept going. It wasn't that we had to do a lot of teaching with them.
And this team, Ricky, this team's improved every year the last 5 years. Best year last year since you've been around. How strong of a foundation has been laid for this season?
It's great. We have a really great group of girls coming back and returning and have improved every year together individually and collectively. And with the addition of these freshmen, I think we're going to have a great year.
And Megan Phelps graduated last year. She was your leading scorer on the team. Who do you expect to step up into her role and be kind of one of the leading scorers on your team? And how do you fill that gap? Who's going to step in for that role?
Well, when you lose people to graduation, you always wonder. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's be one specific person. I think Nikki Gilday has really stepped up her game and will improve in the scoring area. Ricky is somebody that we've always relied on. But I think it's going to be a combination of depth and really more the style of our play where the tempo is going to really make a difference.
And Ricky, tell me a little bit about just playing in the West Coast Conference. How difficult is it, and what are the challenges that come with playing in such a strong basketball conference?
I love this conference. Every game is a toss-up. You never know going in who's going to win, and it's a battle each and every game, which I think makes it a lot more exciting to play and a little more pressure on each and every day. But I love how competitive it is.
And I read a quote where you said that this year the league is better from top to bottom than it was last year. What makes you say that?
Well, I just think, people are returning a lot of great players. The programs have all recruited really well. I think the expectations from the head coaches and scheduling and everything that we talk about in our head coaches meeting to grow the conference, everybody's doing that. And so I just think the talent, from top to bottom, everybody's gotten better and better and better. And there is no day that you can take off in our conference, which, Ricky kind of already talked about. And it's special. It's a special place, and, it's competitive, and you've got to put your A game on every night.
And you've got a non-conference schedule this year really designed to get you ready for that West Coast Conference schedule. How are you able to do that? What teams will you be playing, and why do you think that it will prepare you for the West Coast Conference?
Well, I think, our preseason schedule, especially with having a young group, we're playing a lot of home games, which I think will help. We open up at UNLV, their style. A lot of the schools that we're playing, I think, will be a great combination to, hopefully preparing us. I mean, that's why we schedule the way we do. Fresno State, San Jose State, a lot of different schools and different styles, which I think by the time we get to conference, we will hit a lot of different things that will have prepared us.
Offense was a struggle for you guys last year. Do you see it as improved this year, and what have you done to kind of help improve that and get it going? Ricky, I'll ask you first.
Yeah, our offense has changed this year. I think we're trying to go at a much faster pace and a lot more space and movement, which I think has really opened up the floor for different people scoring at all times. I think it's going to be very even scoring throughout the team and much faster, so a lot more shots being put up.
How much does that help you as one of the teams or one of the players on the team that is a leading scorer, just having different people that you can go to and just having that kind of diversity out there on the court?
It helps so much, especially with me being a shooter. When other people are scoring, it gets me open. So the better my teammates do, the better we'll do.
And a new school in the conference this year, University of the Pacific, is joining. How much do you know about this team? They're local in your area, so you face them. But how much do you know about them, and what do you think they'll bring to the West Coast Conference?
Well, very competitive. We've played them in preseason before. I've known Lynn for a long time. They have a great team. They have a lot of transfers that have come in, and some young people that are going to come in and contribute. They had a great year last year, so they're coming off a season where a lot of success. I think they're a great addition. I think they're going to add just another competitive element where, it's going to be tough to play them every night, and people are going to have to be ready.
A lot of great rivalries already in this conference. What's one team or two teams that you really look forward to facing every year?
I always look forward to playing St. Mary's. I think it's a fun rivalry that goes throughout the whole school, not just our sport. So that's always a fun game. And I love playing at Gonzaga because it's a very different feeling than with the crowd and the energy and how big it is. So I look forward to those two games every year.
What about you, Coach? Any games you really get up for every year?
Every game. You know, I mean, every game you want to be competitive and win. So, I mean, I don't particularly like going to that gym and playing at Gonzaga, but I think people are going to be really pleased with what they see from our group this year.
Your defense was one of your strengths last year. Can you talk a little bit about just what your defensive style is and how that can continue to be one of your strengths in the future?
Well, we're trying to put as much pressure as we can on the ball handler. And I think, you know, actually, I think our defense has improved even from last year. You know, one of the areas that we've talked about is the rebounding aspect of it so that we can run in transition. But our pressure on the ball, I think, has been the key. You know, trying to make people go and make them uncomfortable. Whether you're a ball handler, you're a shooter, you know, if all of a sudden you're getting pressured, you think twice about things, and that helps percentages go down. You know, and I think our team has really bought into it, and I think just the whole style of trying to go faster has kind of carried over to the defensive end where we are able to put more pressure and make things happen.
Ricky, it was a successful West Coast Conference season last year. You lost in the first round of the tournament. How do you kind of use that as motivation for this year, maybe a chip on your shoulder?
Definitely. We were not happy at the end. It was a bummer, not a great way to end the season, but I think we just take it, I mean, every day in practice, just remember that and work a little harder, and we're really excited for this year.
Great. And this year the dynamic does change because there are 10 teams in the conference, which means travel partners.
Yep.
What all does that mean for your team and scheduling, and just does it make it easier? What does that mean for your team?
Well, I love the fact that we're going back to travel partners just because of the academic side of it. I mean, we were traveling every Friday last year. So being able to be put and kind of get into your routine, which is something that I was used to as a player and as a young assistant when I first was at GU, I think it brings us back to a little bit more of a comfort when you're on the road. And not having to be, you know, in the travel situation every Friday, which trying to get our kids in class or take them out of class, and it just makes for a better, I think, playing environment and better competitiveness for everybody.
All right, one last question for you, Ricky. What are you most looking forward to this season?
Postseason.
Yeah?
Definitely, yeah. I'm really excited to see how far our team can go this year.
What do you think has to happen for you to get there? What really needs to be a good thing on the Santa Clara Broncos side for that to happen?
It just means every single person needs to step up and contribute as they're in their different roles on the team and have everybody focused on, you know, one team, one goal.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Thank you.
Thank
Ricky,
you.
thank you.
Thank
And we'll
you.
be back with more interviews from the West Coast Conference Basketball Tip-Off Day.